Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Decks of the Weekend. I am finally back home after a frenetic month. And this weekend, I've been in Sweden. And I am going to report to you a little bit of what happened there because it was a very nice weekend. I've been there 5 days doing the coverage of the Malmo 10K organized by Danish or Tier 1 Con. And it was nice. It was me, Simon Nielsen, and Andres Peterson, as well as the stream organizer Tobias. And I think we did a very good job. Towards the end of the top 8 on Sunday, we had almost 1,000 viewers. Lots of people, felt the GP vibes, despite, the tournament wasn't named GP. It was a 220 people tournament, and it was eventually won by Oscar Christensen with the deck that you have in front of me, Prison Tron. But before going to talk about the 3 decks that I choose to tell you today, I want to also tell you that on Friday I played my first ever Old School event. Old School is a particular format where you can play only cards printed in 93 and 94, so it was finally an occasion for me to show some of the very expensive cards that I bought in these years of COVID, just like this Black Lotus beta that I bought in 2020, put in the bank, and honestly never seen it again. But it's such a shame because it's such a beautiful card and I love to play with these cards. I went all the way to Sweden to play in the Swedish event. If you want to see the whole deck list, I posted on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also going to post a shorts on the YouTube channel, so you can check that out as well. It was just a blue-red deck. I played cards like Serendibefreet, Blood Moon, trying to lock your opponent down with Blood Moon, as well as having a Serendibefreet beatdown plan. But let's go back to the decks of the weekend, starting with Prison Tron, again, the winner of our tournament. He defeated in the top 8 a couple of blue-red Murktide and a red-black mid-range made the final. 7 different archetypes in the top 8, classic super diverse field. Almost every deck was represented in the day 2. Just bother being great and player enjoying it. Prison Tron, speaking of enjoying the games, your goal is to lock your opponent down with Ensnaring Bridge and Chalice of the Void. You protect that with Spellskite and Welding Jar, but you're also in Urza Saga deck, so you can even just make Construct. This is how we won. This is how we saw Oscar winning a couple of times in that top 8. Just Urza Saga, makes a token, makes another token, tutors up Expedition Map tutors up Saga, that keeps on making tokens, so that's one way to win a game. You have Karn the Recreator with a full 14 cards that are just here for Karn. You have 14 1-drop to choose from, so you can get Bottled Cloister so that you lock them down with Bridge, since you discard your hand at the end of the turn and then pick them back up with 1 additional card. You have, just the usuals, 1 of each of your most useful artifact, Serum Powder to help fix your hand. I played this deck on one of my YouTube videos in the last week I think. It was very good, so I suggest you to check it out. Let's go into Pioneer now. Pioneer, there was an important event. It was a showcase qualifier, and it was won by Boros Aggro. We used to see Boros Aggro where the curve tops at 2 with Lurrus in the side. Lurrus is banned, but still, this deck featuring 10th District Legionnaire and Illuminator Virtuoso, 2 cards that as well as Favorite of Light, 3 cards that rewards you a lot for targeting them. 3, basically, you could call them heroic cards, and you target them with Invigorating Rampage. This on Virtuoso edges the game, +4/+0, double strike, trample. Hard to beat. You have God's Willing to protect them, you have Defiant Strike, Homestead Courage, and Ancestral Anger to grow them. And then, I really like the Cyber Plan. You have Fiendslayer Paladin that comes in against red-black mid-range, basically hexproof from your opponent since you can still target it, and Adanto Vanguard, which it's indestructible so it doesn't die to push, Dreadbore, and whatnot. This deck won in the final against Nathan Stewart on Is It Phoenix. Capable decks that a deck that's still around after the Expressive Iteration ban, as almost anyone predicted. So, yep, This is definitely a pretty interesting deck. The last format that I want to cover is a format that keeps on getting shook up. I want to say that with happiness, honestly, because I like Magic formats that get revolutioned. I'm not a big fan of the stall. That's why I was never really a fan of Modern, because it remained the same for so long before the Horizon sets. I like when Magic changes, and this is why I like Magic, because it's a changeling format. Just look at the deck that won the last Pauper Challenge. It's honestly just a little bit unbelievable. So, let's unpack this a little bit. Let's start with the lands, because the land is the most important part of this deck. They all come from Baldur's Gate. It's a new set that came out this summer. It has basically a couple of lands that are behaving like thriving lands. So Seagate and Citadel Gate, they both give you white mana and an additional color. And then you have Heap Gate, which makes you a treasure token if you want, or it's just an unknown shore, and it's a gate. But then, the most important of them all is the Basilisk Gate. What this do is, it pumps a creature where X is the number of gates you control. So what you do is you play lifelink creature like Sacred Cat, flyers like Squadronhawk, unblockable things like Garden of the Guild Pack, flyer like Modern's Age, and you suit them up with the Basilisk Gate and just boom, go to town. This deck is playing a lot of anti-red cards, I want to say, because Monastery Swiftspear is now Pauper legal. This card got downshifted with Double Masters, although it didn't make any top 8 appearance in the Saturday challenge. I still didn't see the results on the Sunday challenge, but definitely a lot of people were prepared for it. I saw a lot of Boggles, a lot of mono blue fairies ready to fight the X-Proof deck. Sorry, not the X-Proof deck. The Prowess deck with Kiln Fiend and now Monastery Swiftspear. There's also the Modern Age Deep Analysis combo that you did with Familiar. So what you do is you discard the Deep Analysis to the Modern Age to then just make value with that way. So a very, very unique deck that again, part of what makes Pauper great, I think, is the impact that every set has with it. So, Monastery Swiftspear gets downgraded. Now, Burn or Mono Red Prowess become like a real threat. Baldur's Gate brings in this, gate package. And now, I don't know, maybe white decks will get a huge bump. And unlike with Modern Horizon set, where, if a Modern Horizons 2 set can't come in every set, because that's going to be like, what, €2,000 every time, that's too much, of course. But this is all common, so these cards can never cost that much. You can get away for sure with 30 or 40 euro with a deck. So that's one of the very nice things, is that you can always get a new deck to play in your league. Me personally, we have a local league. I think this is gonna pause for the summer, but I definitely play Pauper every Thursday, and I made this rule to play a different deck every Thursday. And just like you can do it in Modern, but that's a little bit more expensive, you can do it in Pauper at a very, very cheaper price. And there's so many competitive decks. The format is very nice, very fun, very open, and you can see with this deck winning. But yeah, I think the Double Master can also be impactful. You have Swiftspear, you have Is a Charm, you have Militia Bugler. I don't think these cards are on the same level as Swiftspear, but definitely interesting to see if Pauper will have a change now that this deck won. Maybe other people will realize, wait, I can just fit this card in my Boros deck, or in my mono white heroic deck, or so on and so forth. I don't know. I'm excited to play a little bit more Pauper, and thank you for watching this Decks of the Weekend. I am now back on a regular schedule, so you can see me every morning from 9 to 1 on my stream. And yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good day, everybody.